everybody, welcome back to my channel, and I'm Kiki. Y'all come on, get close, sit back, relax, and make sure you hit that notification bell, like, comment, and subscribe down below. Let's see, what's in story time for today? The other day I was playing with Dallas, and she got this new VTech table, it's a learning table, and I wanted to play with her, and she was like, no, don't touch that. And I was like, excuse me? Excuse me. She's like, no, mommy, don't touch it. Don't touch that. Don't touch that. And I was like, okay, that's new, because she's never told me not to touch something. And I didn't even know she knew how to say that. So that was a new phrase for her. Was don't touch that. And I will insert a video of her doing that right after this. So there'll be a video inserted in between. But let's talk about this sleep training. So I'm gonna give y'all a little bit of backstory about her sleeping habits. When she was smaller, she's never been a good sleeper at all, ever. So for those parents that have those little kids that are like perfect sleepers, that sleep all night, don't get up, been sleeping all night since they've been born, God bless you. Because that has not been my experience, and I know I can't be the only person. My baby still gets up in the middle of the night or whines in her sleep. And to this day, I don't really know what she's whining for sometimes. And some people was like, I've heard people say, oh, it's sleep terrors. It's not sleep terror at all. She literally wants to be next to somebody. And so right now she's asleep, but she's asleep in her bed. So like I told y'all before, we start the night off in her own bed. But I do know probably about 2 o'clock she'll be coming into my room. And then she'll be like literally right here on me for the rest of the night. I have like this much space on the bed because she right here. And I'm like, move. So I'll pick her up and move her away, and she'll still find her way back like that. She'll be right here. So I recently bought her a weighted blanket. It's like 4.5-pound blanket, but it's a weighted blanket. And with the weighted blanket, she has stayed in her bed a little bit longer. As long as the blanket stays on, she stays in bed. But I think once she kicks the blanket off, she's like, oh, I'm out of here. So the first night she had the weighted blanket on, she slept in her room until probably about 3:30. That was a win. Mommy pat herself on the back. The second night she came into my room probably about 2:30, and third night probably about the same time. So that's a big jump, because it was more like 11, 12 o'clock she was out of her bed. No matter what time she went to bed, she was up out of that bed and into my room by 11, 12 o'clock. So 3:30, between 2 and 3:30, that's a big plus. That's a big win right now. My goal is to have her out of my room completely within a couple of months. I said next week things will slow down for me at my job, so my goal is to get up with her at night. So every time she gets up, I pick her up, I take her back to her room and put her back in her bed. That is my goal. Hopefully, fingers crossed, y'all, that I can stay consistent with that, because I've done that before and get to the point where I get really, really tired, and I'm just like, come on, get in bed, girl, because I need some sleep. But I do really want her to stay in her own space, and she will sometimes stay longer than others, and some people like wear her out. I promise you, we wear her out every day. She wears us out every day. I can take her to the park and play for an hour, come home, give her a bath, feed her, and I kid you not, the same thing is going to happen every night. So that doesn't always work. I mean, it works to get her to go to sleep, but it doesn't work to keep her asleep in her bed all night. Because in the beginning, it was very hard to get her to go to sleep. Up until she was probably about 17 months. It was very difficult to get her to go to bed. She would fight her sleep until like 11, 12 o'clock at night, every night, and still wake up every 2-3 hours. So her pediatrician was like, try melatonin. I tried it. Melatonin does a good job of getting her to go to sleep really quickly. But what we find is in the middle of the night, she would still wake up and come out of her room and come into my room. And not only that, if she got melatonin more than once or twice a week, then she would have really, really bad nightmares. And then we looked into it some more, and that's a side effect actually of melatonin is the nightmares. So I really don't do that anymore. Every blue moon I have to give it to her. Like, I think we went out of town a couple weeks ago and we ended up having to give it to her because it was like 11:30 and she wouldn't go to sleep. She was just so wound up. She was visiting some cousins and she was like really, really stimulated, and going to sleep was the last thing on her mind. But like 11:30, we were like, come get this melatonin, girl, and go to sleep. Only times like that where it's really, really extreme, that she's really wound up, would I give it to her at this point, because I can get her to go to sleep every night. And most nights she sleeps by 9 o'clock. And so even when she doesn't take naps, so I've heard people say, well, don't let her take a nap. Even if she doesn't take a nap, she's still gonna get up at night. She's still not gonna be like, okay, cool, I'm gonna sleep all night, I'm tired. She literally comes into my room, climbs into my bed, and goes straight to sleep. There's like, and sometimes I even think she's faking it. She just wants me, she don't want me to tell her not to get into the bed, so she's like, okay, I'm gonna close my eyes. I've never seen anything like it. She climbs in the bed, instantly go back to sleep. But I really want her out of my bed because, you know, I need my space. And she be right here in my flesh, keeping me pushed to the edge of the bed. And she sleep bad. She sleeps real bad. For those parents who are out here co-sleeping, you understand what I'm saying. These kids sleep terrible. I wake up, her head be at the foot of the bed, I have to turn her around. She be sideways. Terrible, terrible sleeper. So that's one reason I'm really looking forward to getting her full time in her own bed, because she's a terrible sleeper. But the fact that I can get her to start out in her bed, I feel like that's a win. The fact that the weighted blankets has helped to keep her in her bed a little bit longer, that's another big win. And hopefully it just keeps getting better. I know since we've been getting closer to the age of 2, she's getting to where now she doesn't really want to take a nap. So I don't know if nap time is like coming to an end, or if this is just her pushing the limits to see if she can get away with no nap time. Because it used to be no nap time, she would be so cranky. But now she doesn't get a nap. She just like the Energized Bunny. She's go, 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 go until she can't go anymore. There are times where she's gone to sleep because she hasn't taken a nap all day at 6:30, and she slept till 7:30 in the morning. 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning. But when I say slept to 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning, please know she got up in the middle of the night at some point. What's another big win with sleeping? I think those are all the wins that we've had so far with sleeping. But like I said, that weighted blanket has really, really helped. It's really cozy, and I guess it makes her feel like somebody's there or someone's close to her because it has some weight to it. But one thing I can honestly say though, she wants to be in my bed, but sometimes she doesn't want to be next to me. She wants to be in the bed, but don't touch her. And then sometimes she wants to be really, really close to you. But hopefully we can grow out of this and get to where we stay in our own space, like I said earlier. Because I think I'm at that point where I'm like, co-sleeping is over with. It's for the birds. I'm done. And we're going to continue this process. Like I said, next week I'm going to work really hard to push the envelope a little bit to see if that motivates her to stay in her room by me just constantly picking her up and taking her back to her room. Please comment below if you are a co-sleeper. How is that working? If you are not a co-sleeper, give you some tips on how you got your baby to stay in their own room. And I do understand some people start when they're newborns. That wasn't the case for us. Because I'm a first-time mom, so I had that feeling of like, she needs to be in my room, close to me. I gotta keep getting up, checking to watch her to make sure she's breathing. I was that mama, I can honestly say. So those are my wins for right now. And I'm happy with my wins. I'm happy with the progress that we've made. And I feel like it'll keep getting better as long as we stay consistent on starting her out in her room and pushing the envelope about her staying in her room. But that's about it for me, guys, because I am tired tonight. And it's been a long, long, long day. Very long day. But that's it. So have a good night, y'all.
Daddy?
W is for wolf. A is for apple.
I know you didn't let him touch it, but I can't touch it.
Oh, yeah. I told you.
Zebra.
No.